grab a ball or block, and we're going to be starting with our basic movements today. This is our last day of our March mat class, so we are going to go through everything that we've started with, because we kind of started back with our basics at the beginning of the month. So we're still moving through basics and then on into our a little bit more advanced beginners, because you are super strong. Okay, taking your ball or block, and let's place it between the thighs. Start with just with some breathing. So shoulders back and down. I'll turn a little sideways here. Okay. Rock those shoulders back. I want you to take a few rounds of just lifting your shoulders up, back, and down. Every exhale, draw your belly into the spine, and see if you can kind of scoop and hollow out just a bit without rounding your back. Let's anchor those shoulders back as though you could kind of take a little, like if there's a string at your chest and it was lifting you up a bit. Then pull the rib cage right here back down just a bit. Now you feel those muscles really engaging, right? So you're tying up that space between rib and hip. This is anchoring you, even though you're keeping your heart open and lifted. Okay, inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, continue to squeeze the ball and then scoop the belly in deeper. Blow out the breath like you're trying to blow out fire that's on your toes. Sometimes at the very end, you might even feel a little shaking happening. Deep breath in, exhale out. Take two more just like that. Exhale. Notice if you're feeling tightness in your low back. I want you to engage all the way around, but try not to tense up the low back space. Okay, last one. Breath in through the sides of your ribs. Exhale out. Now starting with a little bit of a roll back. So inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, continue to anchor through the inner thighs and roll yourself back. Take a little pause here, just reaching toward the sky. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can start to scoop your tail, lifting up. Hold on behind the legs if you need it, and lift up. Okay, inhale. Exhale, roll back, scoop the belly in, super strong. Squeeze the inner thighs. Just pause. Inhale. Exhale, roll back up. If you want to take hold behind the legs, climb yourself up. It's okay. All right, just do the best you can here. Inhale, you can release if you want a little more. Roll it back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. So you start that inhale just right before you start to lift and scoop up. I want you to go super slow. Don't focus on just what I'm doing, but focus on what you're doing. Okay, inhale. Exhale back. One more. Exhale, squeeze the ball or block and lift. We're going to take it all the way back again. As you roll back to the mat, nice and slow. Pause there at the bottom. Okay, take the feet, bring them in just a bit, arms by your side. We'll do a little bit of bridging here, just because Teresa loves it so much. All right, shoulders back, inhale. Start to lift up on your exhale. We're gonna do the nice slow bridging. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down. Breath in. Exhale, scoop the tail, lift up. Inhale, top. Exhale, lowering back down nice and slow. See if you can kind of articulate through your spine, unless you have anything going on in your low back especially. And then just try to lift and lower like a nice solid unit, right? So as though you had kind of almost like a little cast around the middle of your waist, but you're lowering everything down at the same rate. If it does not bother your back, or you have no bulging disc or issues in your low back today, see if you can scoop it a little deeper and lift. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, push into the back of your shoulders, especially on the way down even, and lower it down. It's like you're kind of dropping a bridge back down between your arms. Take one more. Breath at the top. Press into the back of your head. Try not to just let your upper body stay relaxed. So, okay, so it's still active. And pressing down. All right. So release here. You can take the ball or block off to the side. We'll let the knees sway a few times. Ready for your next favorite move, the 100. Yes, let's just do it. Okay, legs up. You could take your bent knee option. That's our beginner level, but we're going to advanced beginner because we're so advanced. Let's sweep the arms down by your sides. Start to lower your legs down at some level that you can control. So once they get to that level where it starts to feel like your low back is popping up, pull the belly into spine, anchor here. Deep breath in, start to exhale out, pumping your arms. If you'd like to lift your shoulders, pull your belly in deeper, start to float your shoulders up, not just lifting your head. Good. Try to zip up inner leg line all the way to your heels and see if you can start to lower your legs down just a little bit at a time. Good, nice deep breath in. You're just kind of, lots of action through your arms. So it's all the way from your shoulder down to your fingertips. See if you can lower a little lower. Lower a little lower. Yes, that made a lot of sense. Take the legs a little lower. Scoop out through the belly. Scoop into, so lifting your pelvic floor first. Belly to spine. 3 more. Good. 2. Last 1. Now you get to drop your legs down. Take the arms overhead. Now, you're moving into your roll-up, so your variation of roll-up might be different. So you always have those options. Feet on the mat, but not too close. Okay, similar to where you just started. But we're gonna start all the way from this reclining position. So wherever you are, if your arms are going overhead, I want you to now feel your rib cage, pull your ribs down. Really engage, ribs down. Hip points dialed up a little bit. Inhale, reaching through the legs or squeeze inner thighs. Reach, you might be pausing here or continuing the rest of your way up. Lift, inhale. Exhale, you're gonna reach over if your legs are straight, but just reach up to the wall if your knees are bent, okay? Come back up, inhale. Exhale, slowly lowering down. I want you to reach your legs out if they're straight. Think about reaching them to the wall across from you. Inhale. So even if your knees are bent, you're coming up, you're gonna lift up maybe to the ceiling or where the wall meets the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down nice and slow. It's all about control. It doesn't matter how big your movement is. If your legs are straight and you're not rolling all the way up, it's okay. You just take that moment to pause, see if you can scoop your belly a little more to lift, and then lower back down. We're gonna go for 4 more, so find the level that feels right for you. Inhale. No jerking it around, so don't be a jerk. It's nice and slow. Inhale, start your way back up. Exhale, bring it back nice and slow and controlled. Keep those legs long, reaching to the opposite direction. 3 more. So if you're someone that always likes to, that says, well, after you say 4 more, I'm already done with 2 by the time you've done 1, then maybe you need to slow it down. Slow your roll. Come back down. So we've got, I don't know, see now I lost count, but I'm saying there's 2 more. Because I'm going super, super slow, and even if there's not 2 more, you get a bonus. So you can always take that partial lift, right? You don't have to lift all the way up. Last one, keeping ribs in, inhale, exhale, reach. You gotta blow out that breath or your head will explode. Come up. Your eyeballs will pop out, the top of your head will just flip open. It's not pretty. Now, I have climbed all the way to the back of my mat and off of it. So I've got to bring myself back into the middle. Ready now, so you can pull up your pants if they fell down. Ready for your single leg circle, taking 1 leg up. So I'm going to take the right leg up. Rotate knee out, your left foot can stay on the mat, or as we start to advance, maybe that leg starts to reach down the mat. Inhale, crossing over, exhale, circle sweep. Inhale. Exhale, circle, sweep. Inhale, over. Exhale, sweep. Nice big deep breath, but blow it out. You've got a little energy in that breath, right? So you're inhaling kind of to propel you. Exhale, get it back around. Preparing, back up. One more. Then go ahead and reverse. So take it down, around, and up. I still want you to keep that bottom leg really steady, even if the foot is on the floor. There's no ricochet in that leg, because all the energy is really in your core right now. It's taking all the absorption of the energy that you're moving. Let's take 3 more. 2 and 1. Back to center. Give it a little hug. And then come back, switch sides. Okay, right foot on the floor or stretch it down the mat. Rotate the knee out as much as you can. We're always looking for this kind of Pilates position or external rotation here. So arms are back. You can have palms up or down. Sometimes I like palms up because it helps me drive those shoulders back. Okay. Inhale, cross over. Exhale, sweep it around. Your intention is to draw more of a circle on the ceiling rather than to the wall across from you. So if the flexibility is not quite there today and you feel like you're reaching toward the wall across from you, bend the bottom knee and then maybe bend the top knee a little. And it may not look quite like a circle. It could look like an oval or an amoeba, something else other than a circle. All right, take that last one and reverse. Not going much past that left shoulder. Okay, so we're staying pretty even, but then we're reaching across to the other side, keeping hips steady. 4, 3, scoop in deep, 2, and 1. Draw that knee in, give it a little hug again. We get to draw both knees in and make our way up to seated. So whatever works best for you to come up to seated. So into our rolling like a ball, because we're ballers, we're rolling. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Knees in, heels in. You can hold on behind the legs or on top of your shins. Rolling back just to your shoulders, not your neck. So roll it back. Exhale, come up. Lift your heart to help you stop. Watch those heels. So if you want to try to hold on to your shins, that may keep you from swinging your heels around as well. Okay. Inhale. I want you to feel like you're just locked into this position. Okay. If you need to lift the heart at the top, do so. Good. There may be a tendency, if you're feeling like your ball is not quite round, then maybe it could be that you don't have as much flexibility in your back. That could be one thing. But another thing may be that you're kind of flopping your hips down, right, to propel that situation back up. So I want you to just try to keep the momentum to a minimum because you're controlling it. So maybe about 3 more. Good. And even behind the legs here. Okay, heels down. 2. Last one. And then we place the feet back down. Very good. Scoochie your hips back. Okay, we're going all the way back again into our single leg stretch. So that's our bent knee variation. So knees pull in for just a moment. Give them a nice little hug. Taking one leg out, whatever your level is, once again, toward the ceiling or somewhere between there and almost to the floor. The other leg. So if you want to really practice that Pilates position with your hands, at least the way I was taught, we're going to bring the hand across to the knee from the outside. The side that's nearest your leg that's in, so my right knee is in, right hand goes down towards your ankle, okay? Or shin, wherever you can reach. So maybe pulling your chest up, maybe not. Little pulse, 1, 2, and then we switch. 1, 2. That outside hand, the hand that's the same side as your leg you're pulling, is going down lower. The other hand crosses to your knee. Okay, always crossing to your knee. Okay, so inhale, exhale. Inhale. Good. So hand crosses to the knee from the opposite side. So opposite hand to knee. And then the other hand down. It's not super important, okay, but it is helpful as you start to progress so that we're not kind of yanking on our knee out to the side. Let's try 4, 3, plus it looks all pretty and stuff. 2, 1, now bring it back, rest down, turn your head a few times. Bent or double leg stretch. So still with those bent knees. One of my least and favorites all at the same time because it's so good. So you think about a swimmer, right? Reaching out and then pulling everything back in. Super intense for core training. So nice and stabilizing. So draw your knees towards your chest. Lift your heels just a little. Let's squeeze the inner thighs. Okay, your head, let's start with the head down unless you'd like to lift your shoulders here. Inhale, take everything out. Pause. And then exhale, sweep it back in, knees toward chest. So inhale. So I like to think that I'm kind of drawing my tail under the whole time. This will help to engage your glutes. It will also help to keep your hip points dialed up. And then rib cage pulling in. So ribs down. Inhale, maybe you want to float up at some point. It doesn't have to be for the whole movement. Suction your belly button to your spine. 4, 3, good, 2, 1, and release. All right, rock it again. Maybe take the feet to the mat if you like, and you can turn your head side to side. I mean, wardrobe issues. Pull up these pants. All right. So now on to our straight legs. Actually, I really do love the straight legs. So your straight legs never have to be completely straight. Hamstrings a little tight. That's okay. Bend the knees a little. They're just not going to be as bent as they were before. Okay, so up and maybe with a little bend. But if you can straighten your legs all the way out, I want them to be like straight like arrows. Okay, like the tip of your toe is the point of your arrow. A little bit of slight turn out is fine. We're going to keep the shoulders down to start. Pull one leg towards you. The other leg starts to drop whatever level is appropriate for you. Inhale. That little pulse again, just with your leg, not with your head. And switch. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulders are back. Inhale. I'm not really reaching toward my leg. My leg is coming toward my hands. Okay. If you like to lift your shoulders, engage deeper through your core first. Then lift. Inhale. That opposite leg that goes down is as straight as an arrow as you can get it. If the top leg is a little bent, that's okay. See if you can reach out through that bottom leg. Blow out the breath so that your neighbors can hear you. Breathe. Let's take a couple more. See if you can make sure that your head is not bobbing. We're going to add a little bonus. Here we go for singles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Take a moment to rest. Turn your head again, especially if it was lifted. So give yourself a little moment here. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Okay, so while we're here, let's go ahead and lift up, and we're going to double straight leg because it's so much fun. Okay, so it looks a lot like our mermaid tail for the hundreds. So zip up, inner thighs all the way to your heels. Your first level from beginner was here, knees bent. If that's where you want to go back to this level. This is fine. All right, so always know that you get to choose which level you're going to. This will be more advanced beginner. I want you to rotate knees out if you're going into this space. Hands behind your head. We're scooping, belly in, super engage. So it means lift your pelvic floor, the little bouncy trampoline muscles you have underneath you. Pull them up and in. Then zip up from pubic bone to belly button. Inhale, start to lower down. Keep the front body tied up, engaged, close the ribs. Exhale, up. Inhale, see if you can pull your ribs in a little deeper. Start to lower your legs. Engage your glutes, the lower your legs go. Exhale. Now, if you like to lift your head, go ahead and lift your shoulders. Just think about floating your shoulders first. I like to bring the elbows out and make like a little support system with my fingertips for my head. Okay. Inhale, I'm still engaging. I still have to hold myself here, but it's gonna help support my head just a little more, and I can let it be heavy in my fingertips. Inhale down, exhale, lift. 3 more. Keep pulling belly in and up, engage your glutes, reach out through your legs. 2. We should feel those quadriceps engaging, the muscles in the front of your legs. Last 1, along with your glutes. And release. Oh, come back to center. Take it back to that space where you were in your single leg stretch. So that's our bent knee variation. Take one leg out. So I'm taking the right leg out if you want to follow me. Okay, right leg is out, left knee is in, hands behind the head. Crisscross. Here we go. Up and over. Switch. So remember here, I would like for you to stay in that space where you're not rocking, right? So don't let yourself kind of lift up and rock yourself over like this, right? So no lifting and rocking. Now, if you can lift up with control, it's okay. So I can sometimes just go ahead and lift up on that elbow, but not because I'm pushing into it so hard it hurts my shoulder. My obliques are working. See if you can reach out through the straight leg. And even if you don't lift up on your elbow, it's okay. Just try to keep your chest pretty open without your elbows collapsing in. Come on, you've almost got it. We're almost there. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. Rest it down. Whew. Let's bring ourselves back up for a moment. Spine stretch. So continue here. Remember, I would like for you to stay on a wall, a piece of furniture, or on your mat if you don't want to sit upright to do this, right? I want to give you some options. So if sitting freely upright to do this is not your cup of tea, then I want you to anchor your back and your spine onto something. And here we're working with gravity different. It's really a lot more abdominal work, I think, than our stretch, but you can still reach and still have that sensation like you are pulling your belly in and having to reach between your legs. Okay? So you could do the same thing with your back against a wall in the seated variation. Right? So feet, heels will be on the mat, toes pulled back, knees a little bent. Okay? So your heels are about to the corners of your mat. That's about how wide we are. Okay? You could be a little wider if you like. Inhale, we're going to reach forward, and without letting the space between your broad line and your low back move, pull belly in, scoop it in, and start to reach forward. Inhale, come up. So I want you to try not to hinge any more at your hips at first right here. Okay, just round yourself, pull the belly in and up, nose toward navel, and then come back up. Inhale, start to draw nose or chin toward chest, nose toward navel, and pull the belly in, reach. Eventually, you might be reaching a little further forward, but not because you're hinging at the hips like a forward bend, okay, like a general forward bend. So you're just really scooping the belly in and reaching. Come back up. We're trying not to let the spine drop behind us. Okay, 2 more. And 1 more. Back up we go. Very good. All right, come on over to one side. Actually, let's roll it on over all the way over. I'm going to flip this way so I can see better. Okay, so flipping over to the belly, we're going to take that little prone leg kick first. Okay, so prone just meaning face down. So we'll be on the belly here. You have your options again. We have worked from all the way from down, resting head, to with a slight lift on your elbows, to maybe lifting up higher like Sphinx. It's your choice. You have to be mindful of your low back though. Okay, so continue to push down into your pubic bone. Pull the belly up a bit if you're lifted higher especially. So you're almost lifting your belly away from the floor.
Okay, let's kick through that left leg first, pulling your heel towards your glute. And while you're doing this, I want you to push down to that space. I'm going to show you real quick. So this little space between your hip point and your hip crease, right? Right into here where it hollows out. And if you're not careful here, your booty will lift up and you have a hollow space here. I want you to push into that hollow space. Okay, so hold here and then give it a little kick. 1, 2. See if you can lift the leg a little and reach it back. It doesn't have to go far. Okay, switch sides. So 1, 2, and reach. I only want you to feel this in your glutes, not your low back. Okay, 1, 2, and reach. Inhale. Exhale, reach. So the higher you're lifted, the less likely that leg's going to come very far off the floor. That's okay. We're also trying not to rock side to side. So wherever you are, and if you need to come down lower, rest all the way down. You'll have more range of motion the lower you are, even though it's not just about your range of motion, but I want you to feel like you can really connect to the muscles we're working. Try one more each side. And last time. Rest here for a moment. Let your head come all the way down, and you can rock your feet side to side. So our next version here, next variation, we're going to double leg kicks. You get to choose again. Are you going to take a double leg kick, or are you going to take a hard pass? That's okay. You get a Pilates pass. All right, that means you could go back to single leg kicks alternating. So you can take your Pilates pass or take it into doubles. And be very, very mindful if you're doing doubles on your elbows. So I may have to come down a little lower. So this feels better for me if I'm going to stay up at all. So I would just kind of cross my arms and let my elbows come out a little bit further. So you could come all the way down. I really suggest trying it maybe with your head down first. See how it feels if you're not sure. So pushing down through pubic bone. Inhale. Start to kick both heels. 1, 2, and then reach and lift back. Inhale. 1, 2, and reach. So wherever you are, especially if you're all the way down, there may be more of a tendency to shake your body with this. So I want you to be mindful that if you're taking both legs or even one leg, that you're not bobbing your head, right? So you're not like kicking and then reaching. That's momentum as well. Okay? And it's just a lack of control through our core. 1, 2. It's all about control. Remember, Pilates started off as controlology. It was just created by Mr. Pilates, Joseph Pilates. So we call it Pilates. Let's take 2 more. But it's controlology. So we're controlling the movement. We're adding fluidity. We're adding grace. Last one. Precision and breath. Good. Release it down. Take your feet side to side a couple times. We're going to come over to the side, but in between, give yourself a moment to lift up. I always start that descent back very slowly. So maybe you don't even go all the way right back into child's pose at first. Maybe you just kind of press it back like a little puppy. And then rock it forward and back a few times. And then maybe kind of go all the way back into that deeper forward bend. Come back to center. So I always had my first teacher was always very, very careful about that. So I was just always kind of stuck with it, right? She was always very careful. She always likened it to like if you had a paper clip, and when you straighten out that paper clip and you bend it one way and then you bend it the other way really quickly and you keep doing that, it breaks. So I always think about that when you're countering, right? That move slowly. Slow, get it nice and relaxed, and then you can go the other direction. All right, so side kick, up and down. You have your option all the way down, rested, or start to lift up into this more advanced beginner position. We're lifting the bottom waist if you're lifted on your elbow. Okay. Inhale, lift up, exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, so even if you're rested down with your head resting on your arm or on a block or something, I want you to see if you can keep your bottom waist, not just letting it smash into the mat. Okay, so there's a little almost lift there. So both sides of your waist feel really engaged and long. Let's try 3. Lengthen the leg out like you're trying to move it through some water and make it longer than the top leg. And 1. Pause. Let's take a little circle. Front. 4 breaths. 3, 2, last breath, and then we reverse it. So making sure here your shoulders are staying back, your heart is slightly lifted even if you're down, okay, and your head is not bobbing. So as little bob as you can get. Okay, last breath, and release. Go ahead and bring the knees in. We'll switch to the other side. I think we have been very, very successful in this little March Madness of Pilates from beginner to beginner advanced. Turn the toes under because we have made it today through the entire Advanced Beginner Series. I'm super proud. All right, so let's go up and bring it back down. Inhale. Exhale. Bottom waist without sagging or sagging into the shoulder as I am now. Lift up. It's not lazy couch pose. It's a side kick with action, awareness, control, precision, and grace. One more. Reach through your foot, scoop up through the belly, and here we go. Pick a direction. I just automatically went backwards, but that's fine because we have 2 directions to go. Last couple breaths. Really zip up when you're exhaling. And now reverse. Good. 3. Blow it out. 2. Last 1. And release it. Very good. Come back up, knees in for our grand finale. Knees out. Yes, it's the seal. Here we go. Find your balance. Hands go underneath. Scoop your belly. And let's rock it back just to your shoulders. Feet will fly over your head a little. It's okay. And then bring it back up. Okay, good. First level here. Knees out. Inhale. Exhale up. It's like a flying Baddha Konasana. Inhale. Exhale. Now we have that option to take our pause. Okay, so we can take a little clap. 1, 2, 3, and roll it back. 1, 2, 3. Lift up. I always had a student that would, when we did this, she would try to bark like a seal. She'd go, and then back. And she, much like many of you, really did not like the seal. She would conveniently get a phone call right when it was time for the seal. I think her and Teresa might be kindred spirits. Take last one. Come up. And you're done. Awesome. Okay. Find your space for mermaid. You can, if it's any issue for your hip today, don't take it out so wide, or your knees. Maybe you stack your feet, or just stack one foot on top of the bottom, your ankle resting here. Or you can take a bigger kind of Z sit, sweep up and over. Come back up and switch. Maybe give it that nice little twist that we like there. Come up, inhale. Exhale over. Try to lean into it. So if you're being kind of prohibited from moving too much on that side, go ahead and bring your legs closer together. And then maybe you can reach, or maybe you just take that leg out. I want you to get a nice side reach on both sides as much as you can. So let's bring it forward if you'd like. You can get that little extra forward bend, hip release. Go ahead and come up. Let's take a little twist while we're here. So bending toward whichever side is back, right? So this leg is the front, this side is back. So twisting toward that side. And then come back to center. Switching. Find the space that's right for you again. Inhale, lift up. So even when you get here, Try to then just kind of maybe even relax that arm if you need to, so that you can just kind of really reach over into it. Okay, it's more from the side waist than your arm. Okay, come up and then reach over, give it a nice little twist. So when we twist, we also get down into that lower back space, into the quadratus. That's those little muscles that flank the sides of your spine. They get so overworked, right? Because they take on the load of all the other muscles, especially the core, that should be doing their job, and they're not. So they get really tight. They get really tired. I mean, think about it. When you do everybody else's job, don't you get tired? Come forward. Find a nice release here, if that feels right for you. And we'll come up. Let's take it over to the side that's bent back, to your opposite side to twist. And then back around to center. Let's take a little moment together here. Let's inhale. We're going to take 3 big deep breaths. So reach up with a nice big deep breath in. Find something you're grateful for today. And then bring the arms back down. Inhale. Let's take a moment of gratitude for this practice and time together. And exhale, bring it down. Good. And then finally inhale, finding an intention to set for the rest of your day. Bring the hands to heart. Kind of plant that intention right here at center. Take a moment, bow, honoring that intention in your practice today. I thank you for showing up and being so awesome.